Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. I promised you guys this video actually a really long time ago. It's been about 9 months. Never got around to it, so I just decided to do it. So let's just go ahead and discuss the notation of the cube. So, I guess I gotta keep my hand to because that looks a little washed out. So this side, the side that faces you, is the front side, okay? This side is the right side, this is the left side, this is the up side, this is the down side, okay? So, if I were to say front, it means twist the front face clockwise, okay? If I were to say right, it means twist the right face clockwise, so on and so forth. So, yeah. If I were to say any of the faces, it means you twist that face clockwise. Pretty simple. Now, if I were to say front inverted, means you twist the front face counterclockwise, okay? And that also goes for all the other faces, so pretty easy. Okie dokie. Now, if I were, okay, actually that basically does it for the notation. I mean, really, it's very easy to remember. So, now you know the notation, it is time for me to discuss algorithms with you. Now, algorithms simply are a series of moves that you memorize to make solving the Rubiks Cube just easier. It essentially executes a move without screwing up what's already solved. Okie dokie. So, here's one example of an algorithm that you're going to be learning here very shortly. It is right inverted, down inverted, right, down. And the text version of it actually appeared somewhere on the screen, okay? So, yeah, that there's right inverted, down inverted, right, down. It's a corner algorithm, so yeah. And if you keep doing that 6 more times, actually 5 more times, it will actually return it back to its original position. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done deal. Okay, so that basically does it for algorithms. So algorithms can be anything from that to even just plain old up is an algorithm. See, that was 1 time. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So even that's an algorithm. Everything you can do with the Rubik's Cube is an algorithm. As a matter of fact, even turning the cube is an algorithm, okay? So, anything you can do with a Rubik's Cube is an algorithm. So, that's basically what an algorithm is. So, let's go ahead, since you already know everything about the Rubik's Cube, let's go ahead and mix it up. So, let's do it. Looks pretty good. Okay, so before we actually get started into teaching you how to solve the Rubik's Cube, first things first, I feel I should go ahead and just go through the 7 steps of solving a Rubik's Cube. So step 1 is, well, since most of you have probably tried to solve the white face when you're solving the Rubik's Cube, that's exactly what I'm going to do, so we're going to start with the white face. So the first step of solving a Rubik's Cube is to solve a white cross. Okay, you want to make a white cross on the white face. Okay, and the second step of solving the Rubik's Cube is to solve the white corners. Okay, and then the third step of solving the Rubik's Cube, well, before I get into that, I want you guys to notice that not only do I have the white side solved, I've also got the sides of the white side solved, as you guys can see. So essentially, I've just solved the white layer. Okay, so basically steps 1 and 2 is to solve the first layer, okay, which is in this case the white side, but it can be any color. Okay, so now the third step of solving the Rubik's Cube is to solve the middle layer. As you guys can see, I've solved the middle layer. Pretty simple as that. And then the 5th step is to solve the top cross. And this actually is a cross. If I cover up these 2 corners here, it's a cross. Okay, and then the 6th step is to solve, actually not solve, is to put the edges where they belong in the top layer. So now I've got green on green, red on red, blue on blue, and orange on orange. Okay, the 6th step is to put the corners in their proper places. As you guys see, we've got this one in the right place, this in the right place, this in the right place, and this in the right place. Okay, might not look it, but they're in the right place. And last but not least, the 7th step is to orient the corners so that way they're oriented correctly, which will essentially solve the Rubik's Cube. So, those are the seven steps in solving the Rubik's Cube. So, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So, okay, so, the first step, as you remember in solving the Rubik's Cube, is to make a white cross. Now, this step is really one of the easiest steps in solving the Rubik's Cube, okay? I don't even think I have to touch on it at all, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve it on camera, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing as I do it, okay? So basically, I see that this piece is flipped the wrong way, so I'm just going to perform a very simple algorithm that you can actually come up with in your head. It's that simple to flip it the right way. But if you want to know basically what I did, what I did was I just moved it over here, and then I lined up this orange with this orange, so we got orange on orange, and then I brought this up where it needs to go. So, very simple. Flipping is very easy on the Rubik's Cube. Okay, now I want to put this piece, which is the white and red piece, right there. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to line up this red with this red, so, bam. Okay? And there it is. And then I'm just going to bring this up to here. And what this automatically did is this brought this white and green piece over here, which I'm now going to bring down to the bottom layer, and I'm going to put this and line up this green with this green right here, so we got green on green. Then I'm just going to go and put it right there at the top. Okay? And now what I'm going to do, that apparently automatically lined up the white and blue piece, so I'm just going to bring that up there, and we've got a cross. Okay? Now, a simplified sort of summary of that would be just put the pieces where they belong, okay, and orient them correctly. It's not that hard to do. So, yeah, that is how you solve the cross. Well, that's step one at least. Step two is going to be how to solve the corners. So, going to look down here at the bottom for any corners, white corners that is. Here is one. This is the white, blue, and orange corner. So you're going to need to put this underneath where it needs to go, which is the white, blue, and orange centerpieces. So it's going to go right here. And then you're just going to do this algorithm to put it from here to here. And this is right inverted, right, down. The same one that I told you at the beginning of the video. Okay, now let's go ahead and put this one. It's already where it needs to go, so we're just going to go and do it to this one. Okay, watch. Right inverted, downverted, right, down. Sorry for that. That's where downverted. As you guys can see, it's where it needs to go, but it's oriented the wrong way. So this means that sometimes you're going to have to perform this more than one time. You're going to have to do it once, 3 times, or 5 times. Okay? So that was 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay? So generally based on the location of this sticker, the white sticker, as you see in this case it's on the bottom, so that tells me it's going to take 3 times. And if this were right here, I'd have to do it 5 times. If it were right here, it'd only take me 1 time. Okay? So that's just kind of how you can tell. Okay? So I'm just going to go and do this one. And I'm going to go over here. And if the piece is already where it needs to go, but oriented incorrectly, just keep doing the algorithm. Wow. Right, with it where it needs to go, yeah. So that basically covers it for solving the first layer. And like I said, this is the first layer, not the white side. This is the first layer. Just keep that in mind when you're solving this. You're not solving a side, you're solving a layer. Okay, now the third step in solving the Rubik's Cube is going to require you to turn the thing upside down. So, not that hard to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to, first of all, go and get some paper and a pen, because these next 2 algorithms are actually quite lengthy, and you're going to have to write them down. They're not that long, but I still recommend that you write them down, because it actually took me a while to memorize them too. So, what you want to do is you just want to look at here of the top layer for any edge pieces that does not have yellow in it, okay? So, like this one. Okie dokie, is the blue and red piece, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and I'm going to line up this red with this red center, so it's red on red. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine whether or not it needs to go to the right or to the left. In this case, it needs to go to the left, okay? So, I'm going to, if it needs to go to the left, in this case it does, you're going to have to do this algorithm, okay? And even if yours doesn't, still pay attention, because you're going to have to write it down anyway. So just write down your paper. It goes like this. Up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. So write down what came up on the screen, like somewhere in this area, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So